January 13th, 2006. 300 cops surround a bank in Banco Rio. Inside, 23 hostages lie on the floor, guns pressed to their heads. And yet, the real robbery isn't happening upstairs. It's happening underground. $19 million vanished through tunnels, while police are distracted by pizza, toy guns, and a perfectly choreographed hostage drama. How did 6 men outsmart an entire nation? How do you rob a bank without firing a single bullet? This is the story of the Banco Rio heist, the perfect crime, the greatest magic trick in Argentine history. December 2003. In a cramped Buenos Aires apartment, Fernando Ajo sparks his 4th joint of the day. A struggling artist, he studies newspaper clippings spread across his table. Images from the 1999 Ramallo bank siege, where police stormed a robbery and killed 2 hostages live on television. Where others see tragedy, Ajo sees a flaw, an opening. He sketches on a napkin. What if a robbery didn't end with surrender or gunfire? What if the criminals simply vanished from inside a surrounded bank? Not through violence, through illusion. Ajo calls Sebastian Garcia Bolster, a high school friend who repairs motorcycles in a garage on the outskirts of the city. Bolster's hands are scarred from years of welding. He can fabricate almost anything. His family once lost 80,000 pesos when Argentina's banking system collapsed in 2001. Their savings erased overnight. When Ajo proposes robbing Banco Rio, Bolster doesn't laugh. He asks one question: how? Ajo rolls out blueprints across the workbench. Banco Rio's Acasuso branch sits above storm drains connected to the Rio de la Plata. The vault extends deep into the basement. During business hours, motion sensors are disabled so clients can access safe deposit boxes. The plan is elegant. 2 teams, one above ground, staging a hostage crisis designed to hypnotize the police. Another below, entering through tunnels to empty the vault. No real weapons, no injuries, just misdirection on a scale never attempted. Bolster traces the sewer routes with his finger. The tunnel would have to stretch 150 meters through live drainage pipes, punch through 2 feet of reinforced concrete, and remain undetected. Impossible for most men. Not for an engineer who spent his life building the unbuildable. They choose Acasuso deliberately. After Argentina's financial collapse, the wealthy stopped trusting banks with accounts. But not with vaults. Safe deposit boxes filled with cash, gold, and diamonds. Untraceable wealth. Box rentals here cost triple the city average because fortunes are stored behind those steel doors. Unlike numbered bills from teller drawers, valuables from private boxes leave no trail once stolen. For men seeking revenge against the banks that shattered their country, it's the perfect target. Ajo designs the operation like a film script. Dialogue, timing, stage directions. The robbers become actors. The bank becomes a set. Every call, every threat, every pizza order exists to buy time for the team underground. He calculates the margin exactly. 2 hours and 7 minutes to breach enough boxes. The hostage performance must last precisely that long. End too early and the tunnel team is caught. Drag it out and police investigate the basement. There is no room for error. By January 2004, they're ready to recruit. But who volunteers for a mission against 300 armed officers? And which one of these men will eventually destroy everything from the inside? January 2004. Ruben Beto Dator chalks his cue in a Buenos Aires pool hall when Ajo approaches. In the 1980s, Beto robbed 17 banks with the infamous Superbond gang. He understands vault design, police psychology, and hostage dynamics. He also knew Ajo's father from the neighborhood. When Ajo outlines the Banco Rio plan, Beto doesn't blink. He asks 3 questions. How much money? How many guns? How many men? $20 million, no real weapons, 6 people. Beto agrees on one condition. He brings his own partner. That partner is Luis Mario Vitet, known as the Uruguayan. Former military trained in tactical intimidation, Vitet specializes in control without violence. In one robbery, he held 43 hostages for 6 hours without firing a single shot. His voice alone is enough to force compliance. Vitet reviews Ajo's script and immediately finds weaknesses. Fake weapons need real weight. Hostages must believe the danger without being harmed. Every participant needs exact dialogue to stay in character. Vitet rewrites key moments with military discipline. Through criminal contacts, they bring in Alberto Doc Salesso, another Superbond veteran who spent 8 years in prison mastering patience and planning. Doc demands surveillance. For 3 months, he documents every detail of Banco Rio. Employee shift changes at 8:47 a.m. Armored trucks arrive at 2:15 p.m. The branch manager smokes at 10:30 sharp. From behind the building, Doc maps the bank's pulse minute by minute. He identifies the golden window. Friday afternoons between 12:30 and 3:30, when wealthy clients access their boxes before weekend trips and internal security relaxes. Finally, Julian Zacarias Chavarria joins as the getaway driver, the only man who will never enter the bank. A former racing mechanic, he once built engines for illegal street races until a crash ended his career. Now precision will be his weapon. Zalo Chavarria maps 17 possible escape routes from storm drain exits across Acasuso. He times police response from every nearby precinct, 13 minutes from the local station, 18 from San Isidro. On the day of the robbery, he'll idle beside a manhole cover 3 blocks away, engine humming, waiting to pull the tunnel team out of the city's underbelly. One missed turn, one unexpected delay, and the entire operation collapses. December 20th, 2005. Bolster breaks through the last inch of concrete. His headlamp illuminates the smooth tiles of the vault floor, seen only before in blueprints. The hole is just wide enough for a man to squeeze through. He photographs it, then seals it with quick, dry cement that can be breached in seconds on the day of the robbery. 5 days before Christmas, the crew holds a full rehearsal. They run the operation start to finish. 2 hours, 7 minutes from entry to escape. Zalo Chavarria practices the extraction route until he can navigate it blindfolded. January 11th, 2006, 48 hours before execution, Ajo distributes replica weapons, plastic Berettas weighted with lead for realism. He hands out masks, gloves, and the coveralls Bolster's team will wear underground. Watches are synchronized. The forecast for January 13th, clear skies, 87 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to deter heavy police armor. Perfect conditions for the performance of a lifetime. Doc asks, what if someone dies, a hostage, a cop, or one of us? Ajo's answer is immediate. Abandon everything and run. No one can die, that's the only rule. But how long can 6 men control 24 hostages without firing a bullet? And what happens when a robber's wife discovers the truth? Bolster enters the storm drain, wearing coveralls and carrying his underwater sledgehammer. Behind him, Bateau and Doc wade through knee-deep sewage to the sealed entrance beneath Banco Rio. Bolster strikes once, the cement plug crumbles. They slip inside the vault. Above, 23 customers and employees conduct ordinary Friday business, unaware that 3 men now exist beneath their feet. 12:31 p.m. Vitet, Ajo, and Doc enter the bank dressed as businessmen. Vitet approaches the information desk, asking about opening an account. The instant security guard Carlos Perez looks away. Vitet pulls his replica pistol. Nobody move. This is a robbery. His voice carries military authority. Everyone freezes. Ajo locks the front door. Doc herds customers against the wall. They move with surgical precision. Within 90 seconds, the bank is under their control. 12:45 p.m., police receive the first emergency call. By 12:52, 40 patrol cars surround Banco Rio. By 1:15 p.m., 300 officers establish a perimeter. Helicopters circle, snipers occupy rooftops. Inside Vitet, now Walter begins his performance. Calm, almost apologetic, he calls the police. We don't want anyone to get hurt. We just need time to think. He releases teller Marcela Fernandez to show good faith. She emerges, crying, describing the robbers as nervous but non-violent. Negotiators interpret this as weakness, but they are wrong. 1:30 p.m. In the vault below, Bolster's pneumatic ram tears through safe deposit boxes. Box 73 explodes with euros. Box 91 contains gold coins dated 1892. Box 156 holds bearer bonds worth $2 million. The team works systematically: left wall, back wall, right wall, family photos, love letters, ashes. They leave untouched. Cash-heavy boxes appear dense and unreal. One box spills cut emeralds across the floor like green stars. Everything goes into waterproof duffel bags. 2:47 p.m. Walter demands pizza. Negotiators laugh. "You want pizza now?" Walter insists. 30 boxes, assorted toppings, for hostages and robbers alike. The request travels up the chain of command. Approvals are given. 3:05 p.m. delivery arrives under police escort. The smell of cheese and oregano fills the bank. Hostages eat nervously, one later describing it as the most surreal meal of my life. Police psychologists note it humanizes the captives. 3:27 p.m. Bolster's team has cracked 143 boxes. Bags bulge with roughly $19 million in cash, gold, and jewels. He tapes their message to the wall. "In a neighborhood of rich people, without weapons or grudges, it's just money, not love." They descend into the tunnel. Walter delivers the final lie. "We're coming out. 5 minutes." 3:32 p.m. The tunnel team loads bags onto an inflatable raft, paddling through sewage in darkness. 3 blocks away, Zalo waits at manhole 47B. One by one they emerge, soaked, filthy, triumphant, and pile into his van. 3:33 p.m., police still swarm Banco Rio. The real robbers are already gone. Inside the bank, Vitet locks hostages in the basement conference room, leaving toy guns by the door. Upstairs, the crew vanishes into the tunnel. 7:45 p.m. 4 hours later, SWAT storms the bank. Flash grenades explode. Officers sweep the rooms. 23 hostages are found locked in the conference room, unharmed. Toy guns line the floor. Pizza boxes remain, some still warm. No robbers. Commander Miguel Cleo radios headquarters. The subjects have vanished. Detectives descend into the vault. Boxes hang open, floors glittering with scattered pearls and torn velvet. One shines with gold certificates, useless without their bearer bonds. Then they see the whole, a perfect circle into darkness. Flashlights vanish into storm drains stretching beneath Buenos Aires. The note mocks them. "Without weapons or grudges, it's just money, not love." One detective whispers, "They played us." The story dominates screens nationwide. News anchors vacillate between outrage and awe. Talk shows debate whether to condemn or applaud. Most Argentines cheer. They rob the rich without killing anyone. Heroes. International media descends. BBC calls it audacious. CNN interviews hostages who describe polite, even entertaining captors. Maria Cristina, dragged to a window, recalls Walter apologizing. "I'm sorry, Senora, but the police need to see this." Toy guns become symbols. Newspapers print headlines. "They robbed us with toys." Police launch Argentina's largest manhunt. Forensics vacuum the bank, finding bleach, fake hair clumps, and no clues in the abandoned van. Every trail ends cold. By February 2006, the investigation stalls. No suspects, no arrests. The Interior Minister promises results. The public laughs. Graffiti reads, "Banco Rio 6, Police 0. T-shirts with toy guns sell out. A cumbia song about the heist tops local charts. The robbers are legends. But in a modest Buenos Aires home, Alicia Dulio watches her husband Beto count stacks of $100 bills. She knows their origin and is about to make a choice that will destroy everything. February 15th, 2006. Alicia discovers $73,000 hidden in her bedroom wall. Beto had ripped open plaster during a visit to her mother's house. 5 days later, Alicia walks into federal police headquarters. She names names, her husband Beto, his friend Vitet, and someone called Doc. She recounts planning sessions in her kitchen, where she served coffee while overhearing tunnel discussions. March 7th, 2006. Pre-dawn raids sweep across Buenos Aires. Police crash through Beto's door at 4:47 a.m., finding him asleep beside $970,000 in cash. He doesn't resist. 4:48 a.m. Vitet is arrested at his mother's house. 4:51 a.m. Doc surrenders peacefully at his apartment. Within hours, raids net Ajo, Bolster, and Zalo Chavarria. The only hard evidence, Alicia's testimony in the cash in Beto's home. The rest of the $19 million remains hidden. 1 week later, news breaks. The Banco Rio gang has been captured. Sentences range from 9 to 15 years. By 2020, all are free. Ajo writes a book, sells movie rights, and lectures at universities on creative resistance. He claims everyone won. Police got fame, prosecutors got promotions, and the robbers got rich. Argentina got a story to remember.